5. Meeting is being recorded and broadcast by local cable access WCAT. Recordings will be posted on YouTube and Facebook. Anybody in the audience is recording, let us know. So second item on our agenda, to sign all the current bills. I looked them over.
Yes,
Okay, so
make a motion to sign all current bills.
I'll second that. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Alright, date and time for next meeting. So we'd be looking at,
May I make a comment?
yeah,
So, I know if you were sticking to the second and fourth Wednesday of the month schedule, it would be the 12th. The day before is a paid holiday, Veterans Day, and then the Monday of that week, the 10th, I'm planning to use a floating holiday. So if the meeting is in the morning on Wednesday the 12th, I won't be here for the 2 days before the meeting, so if there's any documents or anything that get emailed to me or anything like that on Monday or Tuesday or on Friday for that matter, I won't get them until, I won't have access to them until Wednesday morning. So if the meeting is like at 8:30 in the morning or even 9, that I'm wondering if it would be possible to have the next meeting on the 5th, or if it was on the 12th, if that is the only time you could have the next meeting, if you would consider having it a little bit later in the day.
let me see what I got going on.
It's your schedule, so you pick it.
Well, the only tough part, like doing Wednesdays later in the day, is I work 11 to 7 Tuesday night. I mean, I don't imagine there's gonna be like a whole lot coming in that, you know, if it comes in and like it's something that needs to be done, you know, sooner rather than later, we could always schedule a
Right.
quick meeting,
Right.
you know, in between, or, you know, versus trying to like change the whole schedule around.
Or we could end up with one meeting for the whole month.
I mean, well, that's another, I mean, we could plan to do,
Just play it by ear.
I would say, why don't we just schedule that first meeting on the 5th,
Okay.
and then see, you know, because if, like I said, documents come in, we'll schedule an earlier one. If not, then we'll do the second one, you know, we can plan that for the 19th, but, I think for now, just kind of keep with the regular schedule. And like I said, if anything comes up that, you know, after the meeting, you see you got stuff that comes in that does need our attention, we can, you know, always post another meeting.
Okay, so
You
the
know,
next meeting
for
will
just-
be on the 5th.
Yeah, November 5th.
Okay.
8:30?
Yeah, we can do, because I think we can get in here, they open this building at 7. Yeah, so
Okay.
8:30 will work.
And I can double check to make sure that there's nothing else going on in here on that.
Yeah, if by
Yeah.
some chance something is, and
Of course, Sharon won't be back till next week, I think.
yeah, but I think she has, I can't think of her name, but the one that helps her out,
Gail.
that Gail
Gail.
would be able to let you know too.
Okay, I can call her and ask her on the phone.
Oh, okay.
You could ask her before you leave.
Yeah, if I see her,
Yeah.
if she's not,
I think she's supposed to be here in like, in Sharon's place,
okay.
because I know
I
Sharon sent an
can,
email
I
out.
can ask her before we head back to the Shepherd building that,
Yeah, if we gotta change it, we'll change it, but it's not like it needs to be voted on. Number 4, vote on the minutes of September 24th and October 8th. I kind of skimmed through them. Nothing's, I got the October 8th ones here.
got them right at the meeting.
Okay. Alright, yeah, so those ones I think you didn't have a chance to review. I kinda skimmed through them. I skimmed through October's 8th after Lisa gave me the stuff. And I didn't see, nothing stood out for me, any changes, so. I don't know if you've had a chance to go
Yes,
through.
I did.
Okay.
So if you want to accept them as written,
Yeah, I'll take a
I'll
motion.
make a motion to accept the minutes of September 24th and October 8th of 2025 as written.
I'll second it, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Alright, number 5, discuss and sign the sewer connection permit for 95 Town Farm Road. So this is one that Jim Fountain turned in. He was hoping to, he had called me, he also had called Lisa, spoke to Zach about getting the inspection because, he wanted to get the work done before, we were gonna have the meeting. I spoke with him at length about, not waiting till the last minute to do these, after talking with Zach and that, because he was connecting to a stub he had put in years ago. And it's not like it was a complete new build, I told him this time, we could allow him to do it, but in the future, he needs to schedule these with it,
He bought all those lots and then he put the stuff in.
Right,
It's for the.
So-
You kind of let him just do it as long as it gets inspected.
yeah, I just told him in the future, it's gotta be done, I know in the past we kind of
Here's the-
let it slide, but, going forward, he's building a house. He's got plenty of time to turn the permit application, and there's no reason to be,
Right,
because he can turn it in beginning of summer
right.
and do the work anytime throughout the summer, so there's no reason to wait till last minute and then asking us to approve a permit, this way. So he understood that. I told him it's, we going forward, if it's not, turned in before a meeting and that, then, he's gonna have to wait. I did ask him to, so like I know he gave us like this drawing, he said he had already, years ago when he put the stub in, has like the architectural drawing with, the actual pipe location and materials and that, so I just wanna make sure, Lisa, when this gets filed, we find that original drawing from the stub being put in, so that it's matched up. But otherwise, everything, he does tons of stuff through town, so, yeah, the insurance certificate, the plan drawing, the original drawing from the stub put in,
Do you have, excuse me, do you have that at the plant? Jimmy Fountain's original?
We might have like the plans of like how the sewer was run down that road in general, but I don't know if we have like where yeah,
I don't-
we have drawings for the stuff, it's just whether or not if the stubs are on the paperwork or not.
Okay,
For sure.
he did say if, we can't, for whatever, because he put them in like 10 years ago, if, we can't locate
Actually, it
the.
was longer than that.
Yeah, he said roughly about 10, but he said if we, for whatever reason can't find our drawings, to let him know, he can get us another copy of the actual plan drawing, so, or Lisa will be able to make sure it's matched up with what we have. If you can see if we have the actual stub drawing, and if not, we can reach out to him and get another copy. But outside of that, if you're good with it, I'll take a motion to approve the permit.
And I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So discussion and vote to appoint Scott Urban to the position of wastewater treatment plant chief operator. So Scott sent us his resume, he had a chance to look over it, me and Jim met with Scott. He's got a lot of experience with Holyoke wastewater treatment plant, which is obviously much larger than ours. He also holds grade 7 license for wastewater, grade 4 collector's license, hoisting engineer, drone license, highly qualified. So in our discussions with Scott, we also we have to present it to the Board of Selectmen, but we also have to have a vote on our end to appoint him at a grade A, step 7 on the pay scale.
Mr. Chairman?
Yep.
The board would just be appointing Scott. The wage authorization would be for the Board of Selectmen.
Okay, so we'll take if you're good with it, I'll take a motion to appoint Scott Urban as the wastewater treatment plant chief operator.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye?
Mr. Chairman, we do have Scott here. I don't know if he wants to say a few words.
Good morning, I'm Scott Urban. Like you said, grade 7 operator, collection 4 license, hoisting engineer. I worked at Holyoke for almost 9 years now, been in management for just about 2 years. Started as an operator, worked my way up from management to obtain all my licenses. I took 20 of the facility, nice small plant. I think it needs a little bit of TLC, but I'm excited to take on the role and see what we can do.
Alright, well, hopefully, great things and we can, kind of get the plant where it needs to be. Unfortunately, every town's got their problems with the sewer, but,
Yep.
thankfully our town, Board of Selectmen and other departments are one of the few towns that are trying to look forward to fixing things and not just keep running things as they're going and hope for the best. So we're glad to have you aboard. I'm happy to work with you as much as I can and kind of get things moving along and kind of get the plant to where it should be.
Likewise, yes, of course.
We have a letter of acceptance for you to sign. I'll leave a pen right here if you wanna read it over and.
Mr. Chairman, I just want to let the board know that the selectmen are going to have this on their agenda for this evening.
Yeah, I just saw that earlier.
Okay, so we're moving right along. Scott, I set up his pre-employment physical and drug screen. He went to that on Tuesday. I'm just waiting for the results to come back, which we should have them back by the end of this week.
Yeah, I was gonna say probably today. I know
Yeah.
Concentrics usually.
Yeah, they're pretty quick.
Yeah, I know when I had to arrange all those, it was like usually 2-day turnaround time. Give or
Yeah.
take.
Yeah, so they're pretty good. So, as Corey came back, that's all set. He's gotta do some onboarding paperwork with me and with the treasurer. And we're looking to have him start on November 3rd,
Okay.
on that Monday. He does have some pre-planned, family vacations already lined up. I had, talked to him about it, and said that wasn't an issue for him to have that time to go on those.
Yeah, and I remember discussing it with him.
Yeah, we're really excited from the town side to.
Thank you.
Yeah, I definitely am too. I say, I was concerned when Ralph passed away because we had so much trouble finding help there and, when Scott came along, so it was like, couldn't be a better timing, so.
Yep, yeah, interesting circumstances.
Yeah.
How it goes, I guess, sometimes.
Glad to have you aboard and hopefully we can do good things. Alright, number 7, Zach's report, wastewater treatment plant operations. Maintenance, scum pump replacement projects, bar rack replacement and copper reduction. Zach, you're up.
So doing what we can with what we have down there. We're wasting sludge, and we're taking down our primary, and hopefully clean that, and we're still chlorinating for now, but next Friday's the last day of chlorination. So November 1st, we were gonna take down one of the chlorine contact chambers, so we can clean it and get that ready for next year again. The scum pump replacement should be starting in December, I believe, as far as I know.
Do we know what vendor that was from?
Arden,
Arden?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is the contractor.
yeah,
Arden's the contractor?
Yeah.
Okay. ARDEN?
Mm-hmm.
So the chlorinating, you guys only do that like spring, summer, fall?
From, I think it's April to October 31st.
Okay. Good to know. I know we sort of figure out for that bar rack, any other issues you guys been having down there?
Not offhand. I've been looking at replacing some of our sludge pumps for like our primaries and secondaries. I was gonna start looking at different prices for those.
Okay. Those were the ones that in the basement there when we,
Yeah,
alright,
Primary and secondary pumps?
yeah,
Those are just positive displacement
yeah, just
rotor stator pumps?
powder pumps.
alright. And, move things along and hopefully get that, scum pump replacement go smoothly. Hopefully we don't run into too many issues with that.
That contractor scheduled and slated to start in
Yeah.
December?
Yes, so I believe they ordered the parts, and Chris, Ty and Bond worked with us on that, so. I
Yeah,
don't know.
pumps are ordered, I'm not in the day-to-day, so I don't know the pump manufacturer off the top of my head. Our PM, I talked to him on the way over here, he said they're going back to do a second round of measurements on pipes for spool select and things like that,
Okay.
and then wait for pump delivery to just show up and do it. So the contractor's under contract, the pumps are ordered, so just wait for materials to show up and
Okay.
do work.
Alright.
Cool, thank you.
Alright, informational meeting with Chris Bone and Ty and Bond regarding wastewater treatment plant projects. Thank you for coming down.
Yeah, good morning, thank you.
Been trying to find time to do this for a little while now, so, as you know, our plant, we got a lot of various things that need work.
Yeah.
So, one of the things, we gotta start looking at, and I talked with Jim, and we kinda talked, we need to start putting together like a capital plan.
Yep.
To start replacing things.
Right.
So, yeah, well,
I'll riff on things that I know are out there, and then you've got a plant that's in, like, pretty good shape given its age, but it's also, it's been a lot of deferred maintenance over the years as well. I mean, just, there's money that needs to get put into it at some point in the future, just to keep it in the condition that you need it to be in. Things that I know that are concerning, the screen, the fact that the screen is failed and not functional is a concern. Zach, I believe, has gotten a repair quote to replace that style screen in kind, or at least replace the parts. I'm not a fan of that style screen with the cables. It's just an older style screen that's, wouldn't be my first choice. We got a quote from another manufacturer to replace it. It's not cheap, but it's something you probably ought to think about budgeting down the road.
yeah, it seems like nothing there is cheap.
No. If you do replace it, I would probably go with a finer bar spacing in the headworks, just to minimize, the amount of racks and debris that get downstream in the plant, and, it'll help save maintenance on, clogging pumps and things like that throughout the plant. So if you're gonna do it, I would probably do it right and do the whole thing with a minor bar rack.
Oh, okay.
chlorine gas still freaks me out that you've got chlorine gas at the plant. You're a really small plant to have chlorine gas and, you know, I always think back to COVID when you were down to basically one maintenance person, kind of lived up that and didn't really know how to run the chlorine gas system. It's dangerous, especially, for folks that are highly trained in it. So, I would definitely suggest the town at some point, sooner rather than later, think about replacing the chlorine gas system. If you do, it's the timing on these chlorine gas conversions, it's what Zach was talking about relative to the timing, that you wait until, the end of October and then on November 1st, you've already got a contractor on board, they've already ordered your pumps and your tanks or whatever else you're gonna have for the new.
Get it all planned
liquid
through the
leach system.
summer, so then construction through the winter.
Yeah, you're starting November 1st demoing, you're usually putting like concrete berms around and some kind of coating in there to contain the chemical and then tanks and pumps. So it's not super complicated, but you got that window in the winter to get it done. So it's, you're not gonna get it done this year.
Right.
You could get it done the following winter if you wanted to, or at least start to plan for it would be my suggestion.
Okay.
So, I sent Jim and Ralph, and I think Zach's got a copy, just a rough opinion of probable cost to do that.
Yeah,
Or-
yeah, I kinda skimmed that over.
Yeah, so it's just, it's, I did a hand sketch cartoon of what it would look like, it's not really super well planned out, but we've been through enough of these over the years to have a decent idea of what
Yeah.
you're up against, so, there's different ways to skin the cat in terms of what you would do there, but I was coming up with something close to $700,000 to do it, so it's not an inexpensive project by any stretch of the imagination.
Yeah,
The other one that's out there, it's not a capital project, that's more imminent, is the copper compliance plan. You've got a consent order from EPA for copper compliance. We had sent a proposal in July of 2024 to help you do that. We haven't started on this at all, we haven't done anything with this, we're not really authorized to proceed, and I'll touch on that in a second, but EPA's approach with copper compliance is it's not like a primary parameter for them, but it is in your NIPD's permit. They think of things like bacteria, leaving disinfection system, BOD, TSS is like primary things that they want, phosphorus, which you meet as well as a primary one. Copper, they recognize is more challenging to get to, so they give these consent decrees that they want to see like continued progress towards compliance.
they want us to see us try working on it.
Keep working on it, yeah. I talked to Doug Koopman from EPA a couple years ago about Warren when he was, planning to write the consent decree that he's writing, and it's kind of the second one he's written for you, and he said basically, if they say continued progress, for now, that's what they want to see. What will happen is you've got a NIPD's permit now, that NIPD's permit will expire, when that expires, this consent decree will expire, and they will write your new consent decree if you're not meeting your permit limit yet. So there's things you can do, like there's like advanced polymers out there, that are used in like mining industry, things like that are pretty darn expensive, but you can try out things like that to see if that gets you, closer, gets you to compliance. It's just with your standard treatment system, it's designed to do, remove BOD and TSS, and with chemical addition phosphorus, it's not designed to remove copper. So copper kind of just works its way through for the most part.
Okay.
So, our proposal, the board did sign it. I've got, it was signed in April of this year, but Ralph didn't authorize us to proceed, so we have not done anything with that at all. My concern is you've got some interim deadlines that one way or the other, whether you work with us or you find another way to get to it, you've got interim deadlines that EPA has written into their consent order. And they were deadlines that the town basically gave them. He said, we're gonna do these things. They sent it over, said, are you okay with it? The town said, we're okay with it, and now you're starting to fall behind. So
Okay.
I don't love to blow EPA off.
Yeah.
They're, so, I mean, it's just something you're gonna have to deal with at some point. So, certainly we're happy, we're ready to go on this proposal if we're authorized to proceed with it.
And how much was that?
44,500.
And that would take care of that?
That would take care of it for this permit cycle. What was in there was there's an initial copper reduction report, which is kind of setting a plan for what you're gonna do over the next few years. There's a pilot testing plan, a drinking water source control evaluation. That's really small money. Our experience is the drinking water side of folks don't like to change their chemistry to make the wastewater plant happy. They've got different, drivers, so it just doesn't happen on their end. But it's always required that you try and find ways on the drinking water side to have them improve or change corrosion control to minimize copper coming in. And it's rare that you get too much out of that, that they've got, they're thinking about drinking water quality. Then there's technical assistance during the pilot testing program where the town would run the pilot test equipment, buy the pilot test equipment, with our guidance on what the product, how to set it up. And then, we would write a small memo, that would go to EPA with, your progress and whether or not it's successful. You also have annual copper optimization reports you have to write as well. So,
Mr. Chair?
Yeah.
Chris, so if we were to execute that contract with you, would that put us in compliance with what the EPA is looking for their,
It would, you're behind schedule on a few items.
Right.
We would catch
But-
back up within,
but,
6
I mean,
months or something like that.
that would catch us back up?
You would be behind, if they called, you would have to.
Let's just tell them that we're working on it.
Working on, you're behind, but you just retain time bond and you're making progress. Their EPA's not working today, so you're probably not gonna get a call, but they're not gonna forget about it, so.
Right,
Yeah.
right. That's the federal EPA, right?
Better, yeah.
Now, do we know if they, that was planning budget for this year? Okay.
I don't know if there's an article out there, or why don't you see if you check with me after the meeting, maybe we can sneak one on. I don't know if you guys didn't put an article on for the fall special, so.
Yeah, I didn't get them written, cause that was the other thing, I didn't get a chance to figure out if we had nothing, like the paint or.
We just got through certification.
Okay, so we'll be able to figure out from there, that was, I was like, I should write these, but I'm like, do we even have the retained earnings for this stuff? Are we writing articles and, gonna shoot ourselves in the foot? So yeah, I'll definitely talk with you right after the meeting, maybe we can get those turned in.
It sounds like a good project Scott can take on right away.
There's copies of that stuff at the plant, I'm guessing, or? We take these home.
You can take it, you can make it.
If you signed that in April, I would have thought that it would have been ready to go then.
I have no idea why Ralph
No, why
didn't.
not?
I'm guessing Ralph didn't have the money to
Okay.
proceed.
I think what I know, I thought it was, we were gonna have
You could
an
look at it.
article
We didn't look
on a
at it. It's,
special town meeting
certainly
back
look
in
at it.
June, and then Ralph said he didn't wanna go through with it, cause I questioned, I think that, I'd have to go back and look at the article from June, the meeting back in June, but I think Ralph had said not to go through
We
with
don't
it.
usually sign things to go forward unless the money's there.
Yeah,
Alright. So I know one of the questions I had for you is, I know you guys did the, like the rate study.
Yep,
I think that ran through for like this year.
yep.
I don't know if you know like a ballpark for like an updated.
Yeah, I talked to our rate making, lead, and he said, like, it's 20 to 25K to do like a true rate study. That's the ballpark that he would.
To update the current one?
Yeah, it's just, it's an update, but you almost start over again, we get all the latest data.
And Chris, when did our current one expire?
That I don't.
I think it expired many years ago.
well, it was done back in 2021, and I thought it was,
I think it
it
was.
showed through, I think FY 25 or something, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe? I thought it was older than that.
No,
Yeah, 'cause I-
2021.
That's why, initially when we had looked at it during the rates, that, look at getting an
happened between 2021 and today in like the general economy, like there was a period of high inflation, so costs went up for municipalities just across the board, more than like we would have budgeted for in 2021. Sludge costs, I don't 100% know what a warrant is, but sludge costs in Massachusetts went through the roof. So just like sludge management costs have gotten really expensive for folks, so.
Yeah.
You're small and don't have a crazy amount of sludge, but it's usually a pretty big part of the budget of the sort of.
That's really a big line item.
Now, would you guys be able to, like, obviously, that rate study's basically mostly for like general operating and then, you know, a little bit towards repairs and that.
The way I like to think about a rate study is like you're not really doing it the right way if you just pay attention to like wages and, sludge and chemical costs, electricity and stuff like that. Cause you do need to budget in like the maintenance costs and then the longer term, like capital stuff you need to get
Right.
done. If you do it right, you come up with a list of capital needs you need to have as a plan, and then, like, it's kind of like an iterative process where, you try and plug in different years when you're gonna do capital projects. You might do this, the corn conversion in 2 or 3 years, you might do, pumps in 5 years, and you look at it and the rates tend to do this and they spike like that, like, we can't support that spike, so you start to move things around a little bit. Maybe you swap the pumps and the corn conversion, that knows it out. So it becomes just like a little bit of an iterative process for what you think the town can afford to do.
Yeah.
Capital projects and like what your priorities are, like if there's something that's critical, you gotta find a way to get it done. But, ways to get there is funding for some of this stuff out there. Massachusetts has something called the Asset Management Grant Program. Your rates really need to fund collection system work as well. So you can get an asset management grant that would allow you to do like a very detailed evaluation of your like capital needs in the collection system and the treatment plant. You're not that big of a system, but it is a pretty comprehensive study. The way the grant works is it's like, say it's $100,000 to $250,000. It's kind of the window where these grants fall into. They'll fund 60% of the total grant amount. 20% you'd have to have a cash match, and then 20% would be like in-kind services. Just the board, Scott, Zach, whoever, just participating in the process. So it's not really a cost to the town.
Oh, okay.
So in the actual like capital outlay, it's like 75% grant funded. It's a slower process because you wouldn't apply until like next summer. Then you would get the award in like the winter of 27, work on it through like 27, and then maybe set your rates at 28. So it's a pretty comprehensive way to do it. And I feel pretty good that the programs there next year will be a good place because they like to do communities that haven't done it before. It's just they like to get you started in the process, but it's just a question of what you need to do today versus what you want to do longer term. I can't answer that for you. That's what you're facing.
Okay. That's definitely something we should maybe look into.
If you want to do a straight rate study, like we could do a decent amount of damage with, process engineer, electrical engineer, maybe a structural engineer, just spending like 4 hours walking the plant with your operations staff and just like doing a high level like overview of what you've got, what you need to accomplish, talk through like known issues like the screen wouldn't be on capital plan obviously, and just we can do a decent job of plugging things that need to get done. It wouldn't be comprehensive, but if you need to get it done sooner rather than later, if we could come up with a capital plan that would be solid for the next few years.
Okay.
It's actually not a bad thing to do with, a new
Right.
chief coming on, you kind of set the stage for what you want to get done over the next like 5 years in terms of stuff you really need to get funded.
Get rid of chlorine gas.
Yeah, it's definitely near the top of the list. Yeah, definitely a lot of stuff we need to look into.
Thanks, Chris.
Yeah, let me know when you need me, yeah, I mean, it's, the copper one, you gotta do something, whether it's with us or.
I'm gonna talk with Travis offline, and we're gonna try to move that.
Okay.
Alright. Sounds good. Try to get as much as we can done. Number 9, discuss and vote on the revised sewer connection permits. I'm a little lagging. I mostly have them, I think like 2 more things I'll probably email them out this week for everybody to kind of review and put their 2 cents in, and I'll send one to Scott too, since now he's gonna be running the plant, so, you know, if there's anything he wants to add, I mean, looking at all other towns and kind of stealing little bits here and there from some of the other towns, especially the bigger ones that, you know, have people dedicated to this as a full-time gig, so, should by the end of the week have those out to you guys.
I know some of the towns, they do the sewer connection work, like North Brookfield does that, and they
Yeah,
charge a
well, like
lot more
even
for
you-
sewer
Even like,
connection permit.
I think in
it's like,
Springfield, there's only certain contractors they have to be approved by
yeah,
the department. You have to hire one of those contractors. It was a little tough because a lot of like the bigger municipalities, water and sewer combined. So it's not like an individual sewer application. It was, you know, both. So it's like, okay, well, what part is sewer related? Because it's just all mixed together in one big application. So obviously we don't have that here. So it's kind of picking and choosing. All right, this applies to us and this doesn't. So, but I'll have those to you probably tomorrow for everybody to review. Number 10, continued discussion about hiring chief operator and operator mechanic position. So obviously we just hired our chief operator. So we still have an open operator mechanic position. One of the things me and Scott kind of briefly discussed when we did a walkthrough of the plant, since now they have with him, well, and Zach, that's 2 licensed operators. Hopefully a third, maybe with a lower license. Might be something to consider. Maybe like operator mechanic position, maybe like an unlicensed position, more like a laborer kind of position to kind of help do stuff that doesn't necessarily need a license to do. You know, kind of build somebody up that could we could train them, they could work on getting their license.
I think we need to talk about that. I think we might be walking into something if we do that right now.
Right, and that's something down the road, but just kind of something to
Because of
think
what we
about.
had told the previous employee that if there was a position like that open, we'd take them back.
We would have to create a position for like that. That position doesn't currently exist.
But if we were to do that, I didn't know if that would interfere with.
Well, that employee would be eligible to apply. There would be nothing preclude him from applying. You know, again, that's a position that, you know, the operator mechanic position pay scale is based upon that person having a license. So the pay scale for somebody who doesn't have a license would be different.
I'd still like to advertise it with a license.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
if somebody doesn't, then we can.
Yeah, sure, like I said, you know.
Well, that's how it's currently advertised.
Yeah, and I mean, we've gotten applicants, you know, I looked over a lot of them, you know, yeah, they have like mechanical experience, but, nothing anywhere near related to it. It kind of didn't seem like there'd be a good fit, and, you know, we've had this position open for quite a while now. So it's kind of one of the things to consider, maybe, you know, we have to look at, you know, maybe opening up a position for somebody that, lack of a better word, do the scut work, that ties these guys up, that doesn't necessarily require a license, but we can kinda, you know, train them up. Just something for consideration later on, you know, obviously we wanna give, Scott some time to, you know, get things figured out, kinda get a rhythm going. We've obviously been operating okay without that spot filled, but, you know, we'd like to have a full staff there, so.
And Scott may know of some people in the industry that may be looking for a change.
Yeah, that was the other thing,
That's
so.
what I was kinda hoping.
That's what I'm hoping for too, you know, like I said, it's, you know, we'll, you know, hope for the best and, you know, kinda, you know, keep our options open, just something to kinda consider.
Excuse me, Zach, did Jeff go for another test?
He's gonna sign up for it probably next week or the week after.
Is he doing the, was it the grade 3 or, I think the lower one?
Yeah.
I can't, there's too many numbers I can't remember.
I would sign him up for a grade 4 municipal,
Okay,
I should go right for that.
well, I think, cause I think he tried a couple times for grade 4, I think he like just barely made it, so that we kinda had suggested, you know, we'd be willing to accept, you know, he went for the lower one.
Yep.
Yeah, at least it's a step moving in the direction, you know, to have that lower license and, you know, kind of work towards the higher one up, so at least there's some progress.
Yeah, I'll see what I got for study material, see what he's got, and I can try and coach him a little bit.
Yeah, that'd be great, we could, help him along with that. Alright, number 11, Lisa's report.
I don't really have a whole lot to say right now. I did have some billing I was gonna do this morning and I shoved off till next week because of the meeting today. And I also, have been keeping a phone log. I also have, I was going to be ordering some supplies for the office, from WB Mason that I'm going to need. So that's basically, you know, things are fairly quiet now. I haven't, you know, it's been a couple months since the last residential sewer bill went out, so, you know, like I said, things are fairly quiet at this time.
Right. Anything else? Alright. Old business, special town meeting, so I'll get with Jim, try to sneak those articles in, see what we have in, now that, retained earnings been certified, now we can figure out, you know, which articles we can potentially put on. We had been looking at, the bar rack, possibly the rate study, kinda got a ballpark for that, and then, I forgot there was I think there was only 2.
The current one that Chris was just.
Oh, yeah. So I'll, go over retained earnings with Jim and, you know, if we can cover it, then throw those articles in there. Washburn Ave, that was completed. As far as I know with the Board of Health has closed the, file on that one. Looks like the property owner fixed the lateral and cleaned up the sewage leak.
Great.
So, test of the health inspector is gonna go out Monday and just do one more final inspection, but, I don't think there's any sewage that needs to be cleaned up. I know when, me and Zach went down there to meet the contractor when they were digging up the lateral, I had spoken with a, person that had filed the initial complaint and let him know that, you know, cause she had asked me if they were cleaning up the sewage leak, and I told her that from Board of Health, they were told it had to be cleaned up, but if you know, for whatever reason, it didn't look like they cleaned up after they left, give Board of Health a call so they can go back out, re-inspect, and we haven't gotten a call, so, Board of Health meeting on, was it Tuesday? Tessa had said that they were pretty much closing it out pending her final inspection on Monday. East Road sewer lateral damage, you know, we were seeing with, town council.
Yeah, I gotta see if they're gonna send another letter, let me check, circle back around with Jeff.
Okay.
We haven't heard anything, right?
No, I mean, I would imagine if I haven't gotten any communication from them, and I would imagine if they had reached out, if they went to reimburse us for that bill, I would think if they had contacted Dawn or Jackie, they would have let me know about it.
Number 13, new business.
None.
Nobody, alright. 14, any comments and concerns?